Hi there, my name is Louis Kavalik, and today I'm going to be cooking historical foods. Hi there, today I'm going to be making food from colonial America. This era of food is defined by the English colonists coming to America. Due to differing beliefs around the colonies, the food looked different depending on what state you lived in. The antebellum cuisine was heavily inspired by the European diet. Most colonists ate some sort of preserved meat along with vegetables from their gardens. There was also a lack of spices, as colonists believed them to take away from the food. There was also a good deal of foods like porridges, mushes, puddings, and dough balls that included cornmeal and oats. Depending on where you lived in the colonies, your diet could differ. So for meats, if you lived more on the coast, you would often eat fish, compared to the more southern states, which had things like cows and pigs to eat. Beef barley stew grew in popularity in America during the colonial period, as barley was becoming a household staple. The grain had many uses, including brewing, baking artisan goods, and feeding livestock. Beef was also a common meat, as cows were valuable farm animals for both meat and dairy production. All of the vegetables in the stew are easy to store and easy to preserve. They were very commonly found in colonial gardens. Carrots, tomatoes, celery, onions, and peas were all very prominent. To make beef barley stew, you chop up the vegetables and then set them aside for a while. In a pot, brown beef with butter and then add stock. Once the barley and beef have been cooked, add the carrots, onions, and celery, and then simmer until the vegetables become tender. Finally, once the soup is ready, add peas and let simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Hoe cakes, or American cornbread, was very popular during the colonial period. It was often eaten for a breakfast, however it could also be served as a side to many dishes. This dish was created by settlers as they used the Native American food cornmeal. This dish was popular because cornmeal was naturally sweet and easy to prepare. Hoe cakes were so popular that many said it was our first president, Mr. Washington's favorite breakfast meal. To make hoe cakes, boil water and add half of your cornmeal. After mixing, add the other half and let it sit for about 10 minutes so the water can soak into the cornmeal. Then, get a pan and fry them for about 10 minutes on each side. Hoe cakes are best served with honey and butter, two easy meal enhancers to make this worth your time.
Dump it on the top. I think you put the butter on in little chunks so that it cooks down in.
Indian pudding became a popular dish as the European colonists often ate pudding for desserts and special occasions during their time in England. The colonists brought it down with them as a way to almost remember home. Indian pudding gets its name from the cornmeal used to make it. Spices like cinnamon and nutmeg are used to sweeten the dish and add extra flavor, and the milk topping gives it a sticky finish. Milk was commonly used in baking during the colonial era, as most people had access to cows. To make Indian pudding, mix an egg, sugar, and spices together, and then set aside. In a pot, scald milk, molasses, and cornmeal. Once the milk is at the right temperature, add the egg mixture and stir well. Pour it evenly into a pan and bake for about 30 minutes. Once the 30 minutes is up, take out the pan and pour in butter and milk. Smooth it around and then bake for an additional 20 minutes. Starting with the stew. That was actually really good. It was much better than the buffalo stew that we had a while ago, mostly because this stew called for less water, so it's a lot more of a condensed stew. Biting into it, you get a good balance of broth, meat, carrots, and other vegetables, and it was good. The cilantro added a little something, which was nice to finally get another flavor. So yeah, let's try the hoe cakes now. Now, oftentimes hoe cakes were eaten with honey and butter, so my hoe cake has a bit of honey and butter on it. By themselves, hoe cakes are incredibly, oh my god, basic. but adding the sweet kick of the honey and butter is supposed to make it taste better. Yeah, the honey and butter definitely adds something to that. It's good, it's nice, it's sweet. It has a very nice crispy outside with a kind of soft and mushy interior. It's very well balanced, and I like the texture. It has a very grainy texture. I like the grain. Anyway, finally, we got the Indian pudding. It looks, I don't know if you can see that. It looks interesting. Huh. That's actually really good. I was not expecting that. It kind of looks and smells horrendous in real life, but it's good. It has a very nice cinnamon and ginger flavor to it. It almost just kind of tastes like a wetter gingerbread cake. Yeah. Overall, this era had some pretty good filling foods, and overall, I'd rank this all an 8 out of 10. I'll definitely eat this stuff again. So, there we got the Colonial era American diet.